Alright, this is going to be the full video, the full diagram of how the world works, in my perspective. This is planet Earth, and there are people on it. You're born into 99% of people. Astronomy, biology, physics are limited within this planet. Whatever's out there, don't know. We think we do, but we don't. The fact that we think that we have explored astronomy, we know what's inside the stars, we can't even tell what's inside our fucking planet. We can only hear what's inside because of the sounds. You can't measure what's inside. You have to physically see to confirm it. And whatever scientist has given you, it's garbage. It's all theoretical. Same with the moon. I don't believe people went on it. There's too many rays of radiation that permeate the space. And if you look at the footages of back in the 70s, or 16, when was it, 70s and 80s, and later on we analyzed the footage. It's not possible in a tin can. It's garbage, it's stupid. It's all bullshit, just to keep you fed with garbage. We don't even know what the heck moon is. We see it with our physical eyes. And then there is this star, the sun. Well, we see it, and it's so freaking bright, it's amazing. And the fact that we speculate how hot it is complete bullshit. You can't measure it. It's gonna be billions or trillions of degrees. This is a fucking fusion machine. This is unbelievable. But we can't even tell whether it's fusion machine. Yeah, sure, we can expect and provide theories on what atoms it, on what elements it spits out, but that's just because you hold up a strip of something and now it turns orange and you think it's helium. Like, fuck off. It's mind-blowing how people can believe this bullshit. So we don't know what it is. It's just an object of unbelievable strength. In my theory, it's very close to the star in a jar project. Star in a jar is basically a bubble of different density, like air, inside the globe of water filled completely, and there's a resonant speakers with resonant vibration going through, and a certain frequency that bubble vibrates and oscillates and creates really high heat and temperature and shines like the star. That's basically what I believe in. Some sort of different vibrations happening, and it oscillates and creates whatever fission, fusion processes, or even processes unknown to us. Because we're so small, it's too far away to tell, right? And then there's all kinds of conspiracy theories that this is just a dome and it's just a big screen like a Truman Show and we don't actually see fuck all. But I don't know if it's true. You have to go up in the fucking orbit. I don't think it's true though, because it will be pretty obvious at some points. We can still fly on airplanes. I think it's okay. But let's not deviate. We're here to discuss who controls the world, right? There are second level. This is level 0. There are third world countries and second world countries and first world countries. But it doesn't matter. The whole system's designed for slavery. Now, if you look back 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, even early, very, very early 1800 centuries, you will see the different vibe, the different atmosphere, and completely different culture. People prioritize quality, longevity over quantity and productivity. Money was not discussed to a crazy point. You see all these unbelievable structures, palaces, dungeons that are built so amazingly, so much work put into it, with almost unknown technologies. How did they do this? The statues are so unique, it's amazing. And nowadays it's just build, cost, profits. It's all made for a specific reason. So then we go to level 1. Elites. So this is level 0's people, like chicken in the chicken coop. That's us. Elites are the controllers, are people who actually watch over the chickens. But they're not really different from us. They're also humans, like billionaires or trillionaires who are hidden. Let's say they control banks and all that bullshit. We don't know their names. Like Warren Buffett is a billionaire. I don't think he controls anything. He's old. We got some old stuff going on. He's being controlled. Everybody is being controlled by the systems. And who is in charge of the systems? Elites. These are the people who have access to certain knowledge that we don't have. But they're not immortal. They're not immortal at all. Why do I say this? Well, because it's a recent change that took place. At the middle or late 1800s, there was a great war of civilizations. And a certain civilization won and decided to keep us as slaves. Therefore, staggering our progress to the minimum. We were prosperous and powerful. Then they put a stop to that. That is the ancient ones. Ancient ones are the civilizations who control this planet from time to time. You would be a fool to believe that nobody notices this planet. It's like saying that there's a room full of random animals, and in a corner there's a little piece of chicken. They'll smell it out. That's basically Earth. So civilizations know of our existence, absolutely. And whoever is in control of us, they decide what happens. So they decided, fuck them, we want them as slaves. We don't need them to be too smart. Nah, let them die around at the age of like 50, 60, 80. We're not gonna give them too much medicine, too much knowledge. They have given the elites a little bit of power, a little bit of knowledge. But it's fake power. Fake power is money. Because money just only works when it's part of the system. If you go to some Jupiter and there's a different race and you give them money, they don't know what you're talking about. You have no power. Or you go in the sea and you're drowning, what is money gonna do? Nothing. Unless you're standing in the middle of the street and say, I'm gonna give money to a person who does push-ups, they think you have power. They're gonna do the push-ups just to get that money because that enables them to progress in the civilization, well, in this particular society. So money is fake power. That's what elites have over us. What is real power? Real power is the ability to control informational energy. Is the ability to control massive energies at a drop of a hat. So like this ancient ones, they come in, they drop million nukes on the planet. Everybody's fucked, if they want, right? They can just do it, boom. It's exactly, I think, what happened to the Russian continent. There used to be a big, big country there and full of wonderful, like there was one civilization on Earth at some point. That's my theory, and if you look at different people who discuss it, but let's just keep it brief. They fucked us all up. That's real power. And then they create their own laws and their own little puppet show. That's the reality. They don't need fucking money. They just say, no, it's mine. Now let's go back to elites. Now they need money because they're like us. They're just human, right? With a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more level than us. So the system's made. So it's very hard to go here. This is almost impossible. Why? Because you simply get killed. You've seen what happens to Andrew Tate or some other scientists who try to discover or break the laws. So let's say, for example, one of the laws is cancer. That is a big money grab. There are already I would say around 7 or 8 methods to cure it, depending on a disease that you have. Yet it is not allowed. You're not allowed just to come up to anybody and say, I'm curing everybody and get viral. That's not going to happen. The elites have absolute control over these things. Industries. Any industry. Medical, food, electrical, physical, any fucking industry on fucking planet Earth. Media. Plus internet. So internet is a funny one because they actually lost a little bit. It's always like X, let's say, people talk. So they keep on losing it a little bit, but then they've gained it back because now it's 2026. They have lots of bots and lots of algorithms and now AI, automated algorithms that just keep you in a loop. You can't get away. So they control the media and internet. They control the narrative. So with these things, everything's controlled. That's how COVID happened. COVID was a test. So COVID was a test of their work. And let me tell you, fuck, it worked good. Of course, the primary target was women because they're physically weak. Their mentality is to preserve themselves, regardless of any fact. Like, I never believed in COVID. How did they get the men, the brave men? Well, you're part of the system, you have the family. Oh, we're gonna fire you. Oh, you're a trucker protester. We're gonna freeze your bank account, fuck you up, take your money, take your fucking property. So as a man, you say, well, I can't go against my responsibilities. I have to feed the family. Fuck it. I guess I'll wear a mask. I get a vaccine. You can't blame a person for that. That's how they got everybody. Old people, they're just scared of everything. So it's easy to manipulate old people. Children, they're getting manipulated all the time. Like, you leave a child in school, you can convince them that he's a fucking pot of flour. It's nothing. Like, the child is just an empty program ready to get anything you put into it. That's the biggest, how do I say this? The vulnerability that children have. So who is the most resistant and resilient towards this programming from the elites? Strong-minded men. And the physical would also be good, would also add to it. Strong men between ages 25, 65. So this is what they're afraid of. If there was a crazy war, let's say civil war on Earth, everywhere, the elites wouldn't be able to stop it. Even though they control industries and media and narrative and armies, revolutions still happen. So that's what happened in the 18th century. That the real G's back then wouldn't take this shit. And then the civilization had to step up and say, fuck you, drop a bunch of nukes on that place. And that's why the whole Russia's fucked. I literally went to a random ass city called Mirny, and there's a fucking big ass asteroid fucking hole in the middle of it, and there are plenty of places like that, and they tell you it's asteroids. Bullshit. It was fucking nukes, man. It was weaponry. So we got fucked. How do you even fight these people? You cannot, unless there is somebody else, unless we're talking about level 3. Now, level 3 is something like analogy. Gandalf died fighting the fucking Mordok or whatever the fucking devil was in the first movie. Second movie, they brought him back. Well, who was that? God. Level 3. So basically, you are nobody. And the concept of the chosen one is everywhere in every single fucking movie, narration, or I don't even know, like every single story on earth. So you're the chosen one, like Jesus, prophets, and well, I don't even know if we have to believe it, but let's just, for analogy's sake, guys, come on. So level 3 is the godly creators who have designed the universe in a certain mathematical equation that even the level 2 ancient ones don't get. Because these guys are just smarter and more older than us. Well, obviously, it's like a 5-year-old kid versus a 30-year-old man. How are you going to win? Well, this is the creator. If the creator decides somehow to interfere and change the course of events, then it's possible. They could just erase this civilization, introduce a war between this civilization and the other one, level 2 versus level 2, or it can create a change, informational change within the whole universe that will change perspective of everyone, because we are affected by certain vibrations. So fighting against this is noble, but you have to be logical. It is fucking useless. It is not going to happen. You are not changing the world. You will never defeat these guys unless you've been chosen by them, creator. And of course, creator is not going to choose any loser, right? That's why strong-minded man is important, to be strong-minded and resist it, but you have to be smart about it. If you're going to resist and die, well, what's the point? If you're going to resist and create and somehow get to the elite level and somehow get to this level, it's better than being at the bottom, right? And that's why you got to understand that you have to unfortunately play the game. You have to play this scenario. It's like playing, let's say, Warcraft or Star Wars, Old Republic. Like, you can't do anything there, anything, how do I say this, opposite of the narrative, because you won't get anywhere in life. You won't get rich, you won't get famous, you won't be protected. You have to follow the path. And what is the path? Money plus influence. Who laid this? Them. These guys have devised the whole plan. Now, is this the true nature of the world, the true nature of the humans? No. No, I don't believe it. You're gonna be born and chase money and fucking influence. You're gonna maybe change the world to a certain point, but that's not the true reason for your existence. And I'm speaking, if you're, let's say, a doctor, this is good. You chase. Sorry, let me rephrase it. If you're let's say a random ass, if you are a streamer who does dumb shit or something stupid or something irrelevant, you chase this. Money and influence equals clout. But if you're a doctor and you're saving lives, money and influence should fucking come to you automatically in a good world, because the greater the person you are, the greater is your supposed to be, the greater is your influence, and of course money, but this is a reward, reimbursement. But they didn't want that. They said, well, we gotta flip it. We gotta make sure degenerates get this, so the world stays in a bad condition. So now you're gonna ask the final question, and the final question is, why? And it's not that hard to answer. We eat chicken because we like how it tastes. At some places, chicken's kept in bad conditions, and chickens, maybe 1 out of a million chicken wonders, how the fuck did I end up here? I don't want to do this. I want to run around in the field and be wild and be free. Well, let's just pretend that. When we say, no, fuck that, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna cook you and keep you there so you get fat and dumb, and I'm gonna eat you because you taste good. Maybe they need our informational or biological energy that we produce. I don't know what it is. Maybe we're like a zoo, because there's a lot of different races on Earth and different organisms, various amount of organisms, which is interesting. And I have a theory that these guys experiment all the time with creating different organisms, or maybe it's the higher ones who do, but and these guys are just looking at it, studying us. Who knows? But obviously, they're threatened by our existence. Why? Well, because when they pushed their narrative back in the 1800s, we didn't like it, and they fucked us over. It was the great Tartaria. It was a great civilization back then. So obviously they don't like us. Or maybe they're doing it for a purpose. You could see them as very bad people, or you could see them as protectors. Maybe they protect us from certain scenarios, right? Maybe it's the Earth that could kill us if we use up too much of the biological energy that Earth provides. Maybe they want to, but then in that case they would want to reduce the population. But that's not happening. So what's happening? So we need to analyze it and find out why, because I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. And this is all theoretical. And but I believe I'm close to the truth, because you just have to open your eyes and see for yourselves. Thank you.